Are we ready?
We're ready.
All right. Dad jeans.
The cauliflower lobby is very strong because they're constantly coming up with these stupid recipes and finding influencers on TikTok to be like, what if you spread mustard on it?
Nope. Olive oil, salt, pepper, capers. Yeah. You're done.
Oh,
you're done.
On cauliflower?
Get done. You're done.
But they...
Next song.
It should be used to pack things in boxes.
Oh, you're anti-cauliflower in general?
I want to like it, but I have not been successful at preparing it in such a way that it is remotely edible.
My wife will make you some cauliflower that'll make you want to divorce your wife.
What? What did you say?
And get my wife divorced from me, and then you guys can get married so that you can have that cauliflower all the time.
That was a 5-act example.
I'm doing a little din-din over here. This is my version of din-din.
Oh, it's very good. I like it.
Thank you.
No notes.
I had the cauliflower. Now you're going to have to divorce her, and I'm going to have to divorce my wife. And then we're going to have to go to the, I don't know, wherever you get married nowadays. And then we're going to get married so that I can eat that cauliflower all the time.
This is completely uncanny. We did have one actor on the set who named Johnny. He's one of my oldest friends.
Johnny.
And we called him Johnny No Notes.
Love it. Just because he could do it. He could do it with no notes. He could do it.
And actually, in a different film project, the little documentary about the Austrian guy, I've come to call the editor Katerina Box Office.
Oh, why?
What
is it? Why is that?
Every decision she makes, it makes it that much better a movie. It's box office gold.
I love that.
Yeah.
I used to work with a girl that we called No Punch because she never had a punchline. All of her stories were like they just trailed off.
Oh.
I'd be like, I got caught talking to No Punch again.
She just wants people to interrupt her. She's desperately. She just wants to put the ball on the tee and slowly back away.
You know the type. You know the sort that never has an ending.
There was this guy in grad school who told long, boring, pointless stories.
Yeah,
tons of detail.
He was incredibly wealthy.
He has to have been, right? Yeah. And just slow. Like there was no rhythm change in his stories. And if you're like, oh motherfucker, you're in the same line as him, and for the bathroom, and then he's going to start a story, and it's going to go all the way through the bathroom, and then when we come out, he's going to have to finish the story, and it's going to be like, wait, so let me finish that story. And you're like, I didn't want you to start the story.
Was he a wasp?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Thinking about his last name. Yep.
We've discussed this.
Wasps.
That's wasps. Wasps never have a. They don't need to.
They
don't need to develop.
It's so funny this is coming up because I had this is absolutely on point in terms of the theme. What I feel like is becoming a theme of this evening.
Okay.
Which is basically white mediocrity.
Oh, I love it. Does this tie into your first point here in the intro? Oh, by the way, we're Dad Jeans, and I'm Jeffrey Dinsmore.
I'm Brendan Hughes, and we are
you.
Dad Jeans.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, and shall we do this?
Yes, let's crack it.
We're enjoying some non-alcoholic India Pale Ale.
We're both non-alkies tonight.
There you are. Click, click.
Joink. Although I had a drink already because I went out to a work drinks night. I met my coworkers for the first time.
That's got to be weird.
Who I've been working with for a year and a half.
Were there people who were much taller and much shorter than you thought?
No, everyone was pretty much the same. The guy who would have been much taller than I thought I'd already met, so he was the size that I knew him to be. But if I had seen him for the first time, I would have said, God, that guy is fucking tall.
Oh, yeah.
Is he 6'8" or something?
Is he a Dutch man?
Actually, I would guess he is. I would guess he may be, yes. He seems a little Dutch.
When I was in the Netherlands, Amsterdam, probably the best city that is on the planet Earth.
Gorgeous city.
I was talking to this other American who I met in a playground, and he was like, the weird thing about he lived there. He's like, weird thing about living in Amsterdam is you see someone 6'5" walking towards you down the street, and you're like, holy shit, I saw someone who's 6'5" today. Mm-hmm. And then right behind them, there's another person that's 6'5".
Oh, wow.
And it's just all day long. You see people that are 6'5" in the Netherlands.
They're just all tall, and all the women have blonde hair and are the most gorgeous bikini models you've ever seen in your
specimens.
life.
I mean, yes.
And the kindest people as well.
And they're stoned all the time. That's part of it.
Oh. In Amsterdam, maybe. Or is that just for the tourists?
Right.
Right?
Well, all vices, there's no such thing as a vice because everything is legal, so no one kind of gives a shit.
Yeah, why? It's not you're not transgressing anything.
No,
that's
read
the
books.
joy. You don't like, who cares about the drug? You want to transgress.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
what you do. Tell me about your note here in the intro. What?
Oh, I was assuming some
seems like a good
politics
segue.
would come up.
Oh, well, there's a little bit of politics. Number one, I'll say something in favor of our president, Joseph Biden Jr.
Robinette is
Do we
his middle
even
name.
Robinette?
Robinette. Isn't that weird?
Robinette?
Yeah,
You
Robinette.
fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh,
What kind of middle Irish Catholic middle name is that?
Robinette?
No
Joseph Robinette Biden.
Robinette.
How did Trump would have won if he would have known that?
I know.
He would have been like, "Hey, old Robinette over here." And everyone, "Ooh."
Meanwhile, his middle name is John, which means penis.
Yeah, Donald John Trump. What a horrible. There's no resonance to that name.
No, his parents were not poets.
No,
they were slumlords.
Yeah, exactly. Joseph R. Biden, what I like about this guy this week is I feel like things that would have been like career-killing scandals, and maybe this is something he learned from Trump, actually. I hope not, but things that would have been career-killing scandals for other presidents, like I feel like Biden's just like, yeah, I'm not going to engage with that. And it just goes away. Like last week when he had that interview with whoever it was, and he said, yeah, I always knew it was going to be chaos. And the guy's like, you're saying there's no other way that we could have salvaged this? And he's like, no, it's going to be chaos. We were leaving a war zone. It was going to be complete chaos. And he just said it, and like it just disappeared. Like it wasn't like, I feel like if Obama had said that, it would have been like chaos gate. Like no,
exactly. And they would all have been like, did you hear what that black president said?
Yeah, right, exactly. And like just today, like there was that bombing, and he's like, yeah, we're still leaving. It's like, we're going to find those guys and we're going to kill them, but we're still leaving.
And the Republicans are like, you need to reinvade Afghanistan.
Yeah, you need to go. And then there was I just keep seeing these polls, and like no one wants us to be there.
No,
like America doesn't give a shit about fucking Afghanistan. Like they don't even care that like 60 people got blown up today.
Why were we there in the first place?
Why were we there in the first place? Everyone gets it. There's no controversy to this, and the media is like still making it front page. It's like the number one thing, while like Republican governors are like shooting like COVID into the veins of school children. Like
exactly. And Florida has there are several dozen hospitals in Florida that have exactly 48 hours of oxygen left.
Oh God, yes, yeah. Like people aren't supposed to use water so that they can convert it to oxygen somehow. I don't even know what's going on down there in Florida. But.
Well, in submarines, the way they make oxygen is there are these giant gray powdery candles that they ignite, and somehow the burning of these candles makes oxygen.
Interesting.
So I assume they're going to have to do something like that. They're going to have to bring all these patients down into a submarine and stick them into the part of it that makes the oxygen.
It's like Das Boot 2. That was
electric
Das Ultra Boot.
Something.
Sorry.
Das Boot 2. Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
Or I guess it'd be Das Boot 2.
Zwei. Yeah.
That is actually a really interesting idea. They all died in the first one, but now they're back.
But now they're back for more. We found them at the bottom of the ocean.
That's a spoiler for anyone who hasn't made it through all 3 hours.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry about that.
That's a great movie, though, Das Boot.
It's so good. I think about it once a week.
It's an action spectacular. You never would think.
Action spectacular.
You see a movie called Das Boot, you're like, I'm not going to like that thing. It's about a boat.
No, it's going to be about some like Russians or East Germans or some shit.
No, masterpiece.
Who are like who are melting because of a nuclear reactor, and they're all trying to write letters to their wives. But it's not that.
That sounds pretty good too.
Unless actually that might have been one of the scenes.
There were parts of it, yeah.
But nonetheless, it was a fantastic film.
Oh yeah, we recommend it. Highly recommend.
Here's why I like Joseph R. Robinette Biden Jr.
Do tell.
He fucking ended a war.
Yes, that is true. He had the balls to end the fucking war.
This man has balls, and not just because he's 90 years old and all 90-year-old men are balls.
Yeah, it's just like mostly balls and a nose. It's like
balls
all these guys
dangling from a nose.
That's my president.
Oh, God. I went to a gym. My grandfather used to take us to the gym.
Oh, I know about your grandfather.
I've already told this story?
No, but I know about his fucking sitting inside a sauna.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, same guy. Yeah.
For
he never lost his taste
12
for
hours.
Yeah, overnight. He sat
yeah.
in the box with his head sticking out of the box,
Yeah,
and he lost 5
20
pounds
or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he used to bring me to the gym, me and my brother, as like a activity. And then we'd hit the showers, and there were all these old men. We would go during old man at the gym hour.
Oh, love it.
Dude. The
hanging brain.
The brains hanging between these guys' knees.
Deep
these
brain
just
dangling.
red, angry brain bearing no resemblance to a human penis.
No, of course. It was
None.
like two shrunken heads. Is what they had.
Two shrunken heads and no phallus anywhere. Like the phallus is just sort of covered over in some of that.
Sure.
Literally unrecognizable as part of a human body.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad that you've kept that image in your head all these years. It haunts you.
It elbows other images out. I can't remember my wedding, but I remember that.
Yeah, just that and Das Boot. That's all that's happening inside Brendan's head.
So my thing about the beginning is watching these, like, I was watching the TikTok, and there was this nurse. For all these nurses who are anti-vax, make no sense. These like Christian Republican nurses. It's so weird.
No, it makes no sense. I mean, of course, that's their whole shtick, is making no sense. Like, that's okay with them.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So she's sitting there, and she's sobbing to a Christian rock song in her car because tomorrow she's going to lose her
Christian?
job. Yeah, because her time had come.
Sister Christian, know your time has come. COVID-19's gonna get you now, you slut. Don't have sex before marriage.
COVID.
Yeah.
It took me. Anyway, so fucking. So she's sitting there sobbing because tomorrow she's going to lose her job because she's not vaccinated. Anyone who is not vaccinated,
poor
any health
baby.
exactly. And it's like this one is edited with this other woman. Cut to the other woman who had posted the front half of that TikTok to show her own, and she's looking at the camera, and then she pulls her phone down and farts into the phone. And I was like, this is the greatest video on the internet. Oh, it's the only response to these fucking people. Yeah. But I realized, like, they're all like, this is for our freedom, and we're going to, whatever it is. Like, if we wear a mask, all the children die, or whatever their fucking logic is.
Sure.
They're obviously a cult. They've been a cult for 5 years now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. This is the math equation that's been haunting me.
Okay.
Every cult will eventually be a death cult.
Okay. Interesting.
Every single cult, no matter what, in order to survive. This is the same thing as theater companies. Like theater companies begin to die the moment they get their letterhead printed.
Right.
The whole reason they got together to be a theater company was around one show that was like awesome, and now they suck. Mm-hmm. And so death and cults are only interested in their own survival. Yeah. And so the only way for a cult ultimately to survive is to circle the wagons and make everyone in the cult die at the same time.
Okay, what about a cult that becomes a religion? Like Mormonism.
Oh, that's a good question. Right, because they just keep going.
But like that happens once every, million cults.
Right,
that it keeps going.
Yeah, it's not like wild country.
That's the exception
they're all
to the rule.
Carrying guns on their hips and shit like that.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Everyone is eventually going to die. Yeah, very few cults break through into actual bona fide religions.
Okay, and that's because like the reason you would join a cult is because you don't you're seeking purpose. Mm-hmm. Let's say that, right? Like that's what a cult is all about.
And friends.
Seeking purpose and friends, or purpose through friends. Is it just friends? Like, are all friendships also death friendships?
If all friendships eventually become death friendships.
Yeah. Are we going to make a suicide pact by the end of this episode, Brendan?
Well, you have to back out of a friendship as the moment it starts to feel like you should both kill yourselves at the same time.
That's true. That's probably bad. Or you start a cult.
Or start a cult.
Yeah.
And get a third.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be more complicated to convince everyone to die at once.
Right.
And the more people that join, the more complicated it gets. But eventually the human brain will figure out how to make it so that we all need to die.
Sure.
And the Republican Party has figured that out.
Yeah, that's true. It's interesting. I've been thinking about like Sapiens, about the idea that like in order to tie people together, you need a common story, right? Like that's what Sapiens is all about. And I've always thought like maybe the reason that we're so divided as a nation is because like the Cold War ended and we've had no united enemy. since then.
Yes.
But I've always thought that. I've always thought like, oh, maybe an enemy would bring us together. But now we've got a fucking virus, and it's tearing us apart. Like, can you think of an easier common enemy than a virus? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like, who's on the virus's side? Apparently, half the country.
Yeah, well, their force is always being their hand is always being forced, and they're always being told like, there are two choices here, and one makes you look like a fucking asshole.
Right.
I think you tweeted something to this effect.
Yes.
And they're like, well, I'm gonna have to go with the one that makes me look like a fucking asshole because that's the only through line to our logic.
Right.
What would an asshole do?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I've said this before on Dad Jeans, but it's really just we're all children, like in our bodies. Like we grow up and our bodies get old and desiccated and we look like adults, but everyone's just a child.
Amen.
And the entire country is just a playground, and all that is happening around you is playground rules. And like the kids the kids who were like the kids who had shitty home lives, they were like envious of the nerds, and so they like picked on them, and then they kind of like kept having shitty home lives, and then they grew up and the nerds went away and they became successful, and then the people with shitty home lives, they started their own shitty home lives, and they're just like got all this bitter resentment inside, and the nerds are the ones who are like, hey, take this vaccine and it will make you feel better, and they're like, fuck you, nerd.
Oh,
fuck you.
Yeah, it's jocks v
you can't
nerds.
tell me what to do. Yeah, not even jocks, like burnouts. Like, I feel like the jocks are just like, they're the guys in the middle who are just like sitting on their tractors drinking beer and like don't even give a shit.
But wait, what's a burnout? What's a burnout? I never understood this term. This was from high school. They was always like, there are burnouts and there are jocks and
you
there
never
are
understood the term of
dweezels
burnout?
and
Like kids who were
zappas.
smoking at like 11. Those kids were the burnouts. Kids who would go out to Cancer Corner to smoke their pack.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess then in that case, I think I was hanging with the burnouts.
You escaped the burnout life. I mean, there were like skaters were like burnouts, and they traveled a different path into their own like artistic careers, which
those guys. Skater guys.
Yeah, those guys
and
were
just
fun.
straight burnouts also.
Well,
And what do burnouts do? They get hiked trucks and they have goatees and Oakleys.
I think it depends on where you're from. In Clio, Michigan, the burnouts didn't really amount to much. They didn't go too far. But like the kids, they're the kids who got like a lot of shit at home. Like you got to have empathy for them, right? At like some point, like they're trapped in a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
They're not just like, it's not just emanating from them, it's generations of pain that is like coming into these people.
I received nothing but love as a child.
Yeah.
And still, I have really low moments as a parent where I fucking almost snap.
Oh, dude. Oh, yes.
And so I can't imagine if I hadn't received love as a child.
Last night I was, so Eli has a tendency to traipse into our room in the middle of the night when he has a bad dream or whatever. And last night he comes in the middle of the night. It's fucking hot. Like we have our AC is shitty, so like our bedroom we just have fans and it's just like hot in there. And he comes in and we have a king size bed, but still like this kid, like he just flips and flops and mops around all night, and like I should be getting up in the middle of the night and taking him back to his room and putting him back to bed, but I'm so exhausted that I'm just like, fine, come in here. So then Sarah leaves, she goes into his bedroom and goes to sleep, and it's just me and Eli and the cats in a room with the door closed. And like every time I had this situation where like every time I am like in that zone, the sleep zone, where I'm this close to sleep, a fucking cat would jump on me.
No.
I'd be like, "Ah!" Or Eli would kick me, and I'd be like, "Ah!" And in the middle of the night, I grabbed a pillow and I just went, "Ah!" Like just primal screamed into a pillow after being awake for like 3 hours straight in the middle of the night, because like every time I'm almost asleep, someone fucks with me. That's what being a parent is.
Did it wake him up?
No, he slept like a jolly little sailor,
Jolly little rancher?
like a jolly little rancher up on Brokeback. That's how happy this kid was.
And the cats were just
I chucked him out.
Get the message?
I chucked him.
Okay,
I
yeah.
said no more with you.
No,
you're
yeah,
done.
no.
But it was still a rough night.
I'm sorry about that. I also had a rough night last night. You hate it when people describe their dreams.
I don't hate it when people, you go for it. I'm just saying no one wants to fucking hear them. Our listeners are like turning off right now. We're going to look at the stats and it's going to be like,
bounce
he's
rate.
about to talk about his dreams.
Oh, it bounces
Tell me
out.
about your dream. Tell me
Well,
about
it's
your
just
dream.
really
Brendan.
weird. Okay,
it was weird.
I had
It
a
was a
whole
weird
different.
dream.
I had a whole different.
Believe it or not, this dream was really weird.
I had a whole different
Okay.
marriage to a different wife with
Yes.
different parents-in-law.
Okay.
And my mother-in-law had seduced me before the dream began.
You didn't want to wake up, did you?
No, I didn't enjoy. I didn't even get the good part. I only got the ordeal
the mental.
part.
All my sex dreams are just like the guilt.
Just the guilt.
Yeah.
Afterwards, the sex had happened in the
Right.
pluperfect
Yes.
tense.
Yeah.
And but now I was just trying to hide from my father-in-law and trying to run around and everyone was yelling and upset and it was very sad. It was like a David O. Russell movie.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And then I tossed and turned all night because
because of this
then I woke
dream.
up and I was like, oh, thank God. Emily, she's not here, but I would have said, Emily, I didn't cheat on you.
Oh, thank God.
I spent all night thinking I had, but I didn't.
Yeah, you should get points. You should get husband points for having guilt sex dreams.
I totally agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you're doing something right. Shall we move into our first segment, Brendan? Mm-hmm. Okay. This first segment is a little thing called You Don't Get It.
You don't get it. You just don't get it. You don't get it at all. You don't get it. You just don't get it. Shut up, leave me alone. You're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. Lick it chow chow.
Jeff,
Yes,
would
Brendan.
you mind reminding me and our listeners
Yeah.
what this segment is exactly?
Yeah. You don't get me. You just don't get it. You don't get me at all. Remember that
that's
theme song?
That's okay. Yes, that's coming
Yeah.
back to me.
It's,
and they just heard it.
Things about they just heard it. Right, exactly. And you would have, we should pretend that you just heard it as well. But these are just things that are the people in our lives don't get about us.
Oh, of course.
Did you fuck up?
Nope. I got
Okay.
this.
Oh, good.
Okay, that's what I think it was. Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Alone time.
Tell me.
This is something I don't know if I don't think ladies out there, but please forgive me. I'm about to stereotype you. I think women and men have very different concepts of their need for alone time.
Say more.
I think I need just be the fuck away from me. Like I need complete isolation. I need this house, the entire house to myself. So if I want to go fucking do ollies off of the banister, with no one watching me, I can do it. Women alone time is they can go get a massage and they're like, oh, I've had my alone time. I need I need to be alone. I need to be get the fuck away from me. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. I don't want to be around any humans.
Yes, I didn't want to be in relationship to anything or anyone.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and perhaps for our lady allies, it is me time that they want, but not necessarily alone time.
Me time, not alone time. I think
and
that's
there is a major distinction to draw here.
I think there's a distinction. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this is a common thing with Sarah, where she'll be like, you need to take time for yourself. And I'm like, yeah, I need to take time for myself. And she'll be like, go out and get a massage. Go to, go to the bar or something, or go out with a friend. And I'm like, no, I need you to leave and me to be alone in the fucking house so I can do whatever the fuck I want to do.
What I'm hearing here is that women are able to get both me and alone time taken care of at the
Yes.
same time somehow.
Yes.
Whereas us dudes might need me time
Yeah.
and
Right.
alone time, and never the twain. They cannot happen at the same time.
Maybe. I mean, this will get into my one of my later segments. I don't know if I necessarily need me time. I think I just need alone time.
Oh, there you go. Even more so. There it is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We need alone time.
Yeah, they need me time. Yes.
That's an interesting distinction.
Do you need alone time? You get off from being around people.
That's the old, that Brendan is dead.
That Brendan is dead. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I spend actually all day alone now because Emily's out of town. Oscar's at school.
Okay.
The last 2 weeks, every
That sounds
weekday,
nice.
Me and Oscar walk over the hill and I drop him off.
Yeah.
And I always end up giving him some sort of historical lecture. Like I was telling him about the Irish potato famine all the way over the hill and indoctrinating him with a sense of being oppressed by 1,000 years of British oppression.
Yeah. There never really was a famine.
That is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Brother.
You're welcome.
And
my brother.
Brother.
You're welcome, brother.
Brother. Like Lost, except he was Scottish, wasn't he?
That's right.
Brother.
Brother.
So, and then I come over here and it's 8:15 a.m. and I sit down at that desk, which is right over there. And then around like 4:30, I go get him.
What are you doing during that time? Are you
Frantically working as hard as I can.
on stuff that you enjoy working on, or stuff that you are getting paid to work on?
Stuff I enjoy working on.
Okay. That sounds lovely.
It actually is kind of nice. I had a nice day today of things I enjoy doing all day.
That would count to me as alone time.
Yeah.
Because like if you're on your own schedule too, right? Like no one's like looking at their watch expecting something from you necessarily.
There's one project that I'm very delinquent on, and that troubles me all day long.
Yeah, you have to have that there. You put that there psychologically as the barrier.
You're right.
To keep yourself troubled.
Oh, just you wait for fatherly advice. I have a big one.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. So then, right. So I get well. Here's the problem with me time, Jeff. I almost called you Oscar.
That's fine. That's cute.
That's cute. Can I call you Oscar?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Listen, Oscar.
Yes.
Here's the problem with me time.
Yes.
It's like cigarettes.
Okay.
It's not like you check the box.
Yes.
It's like a Lay's potato chip.
Yes.
Here, have one Lay's potato chip, Jeff.
Yes.
No, you need more me time.
Yes.
At 4:30, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be alone anymore.
Right. Yes. Yeah. It's true. Yeah. Wait, that's me time or alone time?
Oh, sorry, alone time.
Alone time. Yeah. You're never filled. Your cup is not filled.
The cup never runneth over with alone time.
That is true. Or probably me time either. I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't like, maybe that's a difference for women, or maybe I'm just not. Maybe Sarah's just like not telling me all the reality of her inner life. But like, I feel like she can go get a massage and come back and be like, okay, I've been satiated. And wow. I'm never satiated. No,
certainly not.
No, I
do you
never
ever
get what I need.
I'm about to say something very insensitive towards our brothers in prison. But you hear the podcasts and stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, I spent 3 weeks in solitary confinement, and I almost lost my mind."
Oh, you would love that.
To which I'm like, "You fucking pussy."
I honestly think like solitary confinement is one of my worst nightmares. Like,
really?
It's terrifying. It's not being alone. If I was alone in like a luxe hotel room, that might be different, old boy style. And I could just like punch the wall for like 12 hours a day. But being alone in like a 3x3 foot cell, like that was ice cold, like,
oh, it sounds amazing to me.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. You're contained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the Brendanness has stopped leaking.
Maybe like altered states, you'd come out as a ape man.
I'd fucking levitate.
Yeah.
or I would regress to the beginning of time, like Alan Arkin and Simon.
Yes. I still haven't watched it. I think that was our last I Challenged Thee.
Oh, yeah. Before the world went sideways.
And I never took it up. I'm a loser at the I Challenge. Brendan, what is your You Don't Get It?
Allow me to open my new iPad. These things have no use whatsoever. They're a larger phone.
Never seen the use for it. That and the watch.
The watch.
The pad and the watch.
The watch is there to make you to call an ambulance to have a heart attack.
Right.
But you don't like. Do you want to be getting text messages while you're fucking swimming?
No, I don't want any of that.
Fuck that shit.
I don't want any of that.
No.
I can see it. Like I would like having a thing on my arm, like when I run.
Oh, sure.
But there's plenty of devices
there's
that
like
can do
Garmin
that.
And stuff that only does that.
Yeah. That's what
like
I
calories
want.
burnt and all that shit.
Yeah. That's what I want. That's the only reason I can imagine having an iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
All the rest of it, am I going to play a game? Am I going to play Angry Birds on my wrist?
You're going to watch a fucking Terrence Malick movie on your fucking watch?
Right. Yeah.
So here's my You Don't Get It.
Yes.
I was talking to Oscar last night. We were walking back with my not niece, cousin. My cousin's daughter stayed here over the summer and got to know Walt, and one of her close friends really got into Walt being my dog.
Yes.
And Walt, and they adore him. They adore him the way normal people love normal dogs, and I think that's adorable.
Sure.
But for Walt,
Really?
Walt is criminally insane.
Really?
He's an insane animal.
That dog seems very sweet to me.
I mean,
He doesn't bark. That's
he does bark.
But when? Not when you.
Oh,
not
not
when
yeah.
I wander into your house with a knife. He
Right,
didn't
that's true.
Give a shit about that.
No, he was like, "Are you my new best friend?"
Yeah.
He's no. He only barks randomly out of nowhere.
Okay.
And it's more of a scream than a bark.
Oh, okay.
He's like,
Yeah.
like that. And he I mean he's just has a lot. He has a lot of dog.
Okay.
He's great. I love him, but he's fucking exhausting because border collies are exhausting. Because
Okay.
what are they doing? They're trying
They
to
have a lot of.
collie the border.
They want to run.
They're
Yeah.
always trying to collie that border.
Sure.
So anyway, Oscar and I are walking from where we're sitting right now back to the main manor here at in Ridgeview Manor.
Yep.
And the main chateau. And I say, we're talking about how like Walt is a really weird dog. And then I'm like, well, actually, pretty much every member of this family is really weird.
Okay.
I said, you, Oscar, were born into a pretty weird family.
Uh-huh.
I'm weird. You're weird. Mom's weird. Walt is weird.
Yeah.
And Blue Bear is weird, of course. And he was like, yeah, I'd say you're not really that weird, though.
Interesting.
To me, he said.
Okay.
You're
How wrong
and
he is.
And I was like, he was like, you're the least weird one.
Yeah.
And I was like, excuse me? And then I was like, wait a second. I think actually that might be true.
Really?
Like Emily's full on eccentric in certain ways.
Okay.
Oscar is force of nature.
Uh-huh.
Walt is, as I said, criminally insane. Blue Bear comes from a crime family. And I, on behalf of all these people, to hold the whole thing together, became kind of a conventional fucking dad.
Right.
Who, like, I drive him to school, we come home, I make him dinner, I put him to bed, I do the dumb dad jokes. The edge of my humor has dwindled since all this went on.
Sure.
And I go to bed. I don't even fucking drink anymore. I don't drink coffee anymore. Granted, these are for medical reasons.
Yeah, you're straight.
I've become a total straight edge. Like it happened without me noticing, and I listen to like sad, like gospel from the 70s now.
Okay.
What the fuck happened to me? And so
Wow.
in that moment, I had this sort of Fight Club, I am Tyler Durden, except in reverse, where I was like, no, I am Jack, whatever the other guy's name is.
Don't remember.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm whatever that guy, his name is Jack either, whatever his name is. Oh my God, I thought I was Tyler Durden. I thought it was the weirdest one in this family, and I'm a total conventional fucking zero.
Wow.
Like you go on Facebook and you're like, well, whatever happened to that ridiculously hot girl from high school? Facebook. Oh, there she is, standing next to Mr. like no chin bum equipment sweatshirt in front of the Disney castle,
Right.
and with like goatee,
Yeah.
and you're like, and you're like, well,
Like,
that's not me.
Who's that chode?
Who's that chode?
Yeah. But it is you.
I'm the one who chodes.
You're the guy in the bum sweatshirt.
I probably stop. I start walking more slowly near the bum equipment sweatshirts.
Right.
In the Goodwill because
You're
I'm
like,
like, well, not bad.
Yes. It's I don't know what the acronym is for, but
I like bums.
I like acronyms.
Hey, Oscar, wouldn't it be funny if I wore with the word bum everywhere?
Yeah.
And it's
juicy,
juicy on my
sweatpants.
ass.
Yeah.
I guess I'm dating myself because bum equipment hasn't existed for several decades.
Well, I think the guy you're describing is probably wearing it.
he
You're
definitely
right
is wearing it,
about
but you can barely make out the word bum anymore.
Right.
Anyway, I became not weird for you, for these people.
Right.
For
Out of necessity.
no one else everyone else got to be their fucking eccentric selves.
Yeah. Does that make you bitter? Do you want to get a little weird?
Yeah. Why? Yes. I was the class clown.
Right.
For Christ's sake.
You did weird shit.
I was class clown. And I was
do some more weird shit,
I want to
dude.
do weird shit.
Do it. That's your me time right there. Is just
That's my
doing
time.
weird shit.
I want to be considered weird.
Be weird.
Look at my haircut I got yesterday.
It's normal.
I'm a total like normcore normie. Normal.
Yeah. You bought a house in fucking Eagle Rock?
Eagle Rock.
That's the most normal place on the planet.
How did this
There's no
happen?
place more normal than why don't you go up to Swart Coffee?
Yeah, exactly.
Motherfucker.
Swerk. Well,
Yeah.
first I have to go to Target to pick up some fucking items for the
run over to
bathroom.
Target, get some items, and then go over to Swart Coffee.
But I
Jesus.
did this for them. They just don't understand how weird I used to be, Jeff.
They must. But like there's I don't know. I don't even know what weird is anymore. What is weird? Like you've got these fucking like you got people out here taking this fucking dewormer medicine for cows.
I know. They totally stole our You can't be weirder than a Trumper.
I was thinking today, like, what's the equivalent of like these guys looking for just taking whatever they can find that isn't the vaccine?
Yep.
Because like the people on the other side take the vaccine. I was like, what's our equivalent? Is it like us buying like Japanese import Radiohead B-sides or something like that? Like,
yes.
like that's their version of indie.
Yes.
I'm gonna take dewormer, like because I'm indie. I'm just different than other people.
Right. Yes, they're so obsessed with owning the libs,
Right.
that they will literally die to own the libs.
Yeah. That is that. Yeah, but. How do you not see that's the grandest cell phone of them all?
No. I think if you're not aware of hypocrisy, like that is so not even on your radar that you don't bother wondering if you yourself are one, then you also can't ever recognize self-ownership.
Yeah, that's probably true. But if you're weird, I don't know, man. I think weirdness at a certain age, it's like your theory about being drunk over 40 or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like at a certain age, like if you're weird, then it's not charming anymore.
Right.
It's
it becomes
weird.
Eccentric.
Yeah.
Then you grow eccentric.
Yeah. And if you have a lot of money, that's fun.
Right.
You know, if you're Rose, what's her name from Harold and Maude, like you're a gas. Like, you're lovely.
You can be a
kind of
deranged millionaire, but you can't be a deranged thousandaire.
No. Then you're just like the guy no one wants to talk to. But like at the same time, like you go to these parties that I go to with these fucking dads from the school and like in their baseball caps, and you're just like, fuck, these guys. Oh. You know you're not normal when you're talking to those guys because those guys are normal.
They're just generic sons of bitches.
Yeah, they stamped them out of a machine.
Wow.
Cookie cutter.
What is that?
You don't have those dudes in your life?
No, actually, I will say that the school that Oscar goes to, the parents are incredibly colorful.
Oh, okay. Well, you're lucky. We have a good group of friends at Hazel's school who are all a bunch of weirdos, which I appreciate. But like, there's a lot of fucking normies up in there too. Man. Just in our age range, like there's just a lot of normies everywhere.
There's no excuse for that.
No,
for a normie in our age range, the shit that we have seen.
Yeah, exactly.
How could you not be curious and have sparkle if you are exactly in your mid-40s right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
We saw the birth of the internet. When we were very young, our president got a blowjob.
Yeah, that's true. All right, there's a lot of interesting things about us, I guess. I think those people just never even like bothered with any of that stuff, though. They never went to fat chicks and party hats.
Wait, sorry, what's Fat Chicks and Party Hats?
Oh, sorry, that was a early internet website. Never mind. Shall we move on?
Oh, it's like Crying While Eating. Do you remember that website? Yeah, that was one of the first websites ever. It was amazing.
In that ballpark. Okay? Let me ask you something here. We got 4 categories on this sheet of paper. Mm-hmm. Think we can whip through them in 20 minutes?
Oh yeah.
To do a tight 60?
Oh wait, meaning like we have to do all 4 in 20 minutes?
Yeah, or do we narrow down?
Fucking sure, let's do it.
We're gonna do all of it?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go quick hits. Are you ready?
Quick hits.
First segment is I, a parent, just don't understand.
I, a parent, just don't understand how the culture of the youth has gotten so out of hand. They watch trash and listen to shitty bands. And I, who am a parent, I just don't understand.
Probably my favorite theme song.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like this one too. There's some that I'd like to record here, but I went first last time. Brendan, why don't you go first?
Oh, I'll go first. Here's the thing. So TikTok, I've been on it lately. It's awesome. It is the deliverance of all social media. It's the greatest thing of all time. Do you spend any time on the TikTok?
I lurk.
The tuk-tuks?
I lurk.
Oh, I lurk too. I don't like actually have a TikTok. I just go around looking.
But I don't know how to. I have a hard time finding what I want on TikTok.
It figures it out for you.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, just like look at stuff, swipe when you don't like it, and very quickly.
But I dislike so much of it.
Keep going. It will find you. Your TikTok will find you.
Okay.
Their algorithm is absurdly brilliant.
Okay.
It figured me out.
So are you
good.
having fun the whole time? Like every TikTok you see is a masterpiece.
Is a masterpiece. Every single TikTok I see is a fucking masterpiece.
Okay.
So stick with it.
I gotta get there.
To the point where it's almost unfair to all other media.
Interesting. Okay.
It's I mean, and the thing, and here's the thing.
It never ends. You never get to the end.
Never ends.
Just like, I've seen it all. I've seen all the TikToks.
Yeah, I get it. I get Oscar to bed. I climb in bed. I'm like, I'm going to do 10 minutes of TikTok. And an hour and a half goes by.
Oh, shit.
And then my fucking phone dies because I'm just like, awesome, awesome, awesome.
Wow.
And they're amazing. And the creativity out there in the world is gigantic.
Sure.
And full of life. And everyone has their thing. And this is the thing that I don't understand.
Yeah.
Everyone has figured out their angle on life.
Yeah.
Everyone on TikTok, or at least these are the ones that aggregate to the top. Their brand. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They have figured out, like, what I do is I trade orange futures.
Yeah,
and
it's very
I'm going
niche.
to citrus futures. What's that?
It's very niche.
Niche, exactly.
They know their niche.
And they're like, and so my entire life online is going to be about teaching you how to trade orange futures.
I think we've had this discussion before.
Shit, have I already used this one?
Exact topic, yes.
Oh, motherfucker.
That's
I'm not
okay,
that
you can keep
interesting.
going.
But I'm a generic
normal.
guy. I'm a normal guy.
Exactly.
I can't. I'm thinking this is an original thought because it occurs to me over and over again.
Sure, but your quandary here is that how do people know themselves? Especially at such a young age,
and especially in on such a fascinating planet.
I think you have to in our culture. It's the culture of like a diagnosis. Like it's a culture of what am I looking for? Not prescriptive, but like when you finally find your illness or whatever. Like that's
prognosis.
No. Prognosis negative. No. I don't know. Let's call it diagnosis. Like, yeah, it's prescriptive. I already said that. Like everyone's got to have their
diagnosis.
I think I just said that a couple of times. Yeah, it's like every
diagnosis.
That's it. That's what I'm thinking of. But like there's a million categories and like you find the category you belong to. I think it's different from when we were growing up. It was don't label me. That was the edgy attitude.
Yes, right.
And
exactly.
Now it's like find the exact label for me.
Right, and then everyone know me by this label.
Yes,
that's true. And everyone's like, not the label I was assigned at birth necessarily, but like the label I choose.
Yes.
Maybe there's it's not a coincidence that those are coinciding, where people are like, gender is arbitrary,
sure,
and gender norms are extremely arbitrary. So therefore, I'm going to bust out of that and determine exactly who I am, and also here I am world or something like that.
Yeah, but it feels very I don't know. To me, to an older normie like me, like it feels a little bit like stifling
to only be that thing.
But maybe that's what you do in the face of like too many choices. It's like that's how you get away from all these choices. Like you're like, I'm not gonna I just listen to K-pop. Like why I'm gonna block out all the rest of it. Like I don't need anything except K-pop. I'm just a BTS fan now. So
generalism is dead.
Yeah.
And that saddens me because, sure, you can be the official doyen of all things
considered
Xena.
Yeah.
The entire Xena world, all the characters and the actors' names and stuff like that. But does that make you an interesting person, or does that make you kind of limited?
Yeah. Well, no, that's true. I mean, it is the fanboy culture. Is like it's like that's what you are. You are a fanboy of whatever your like tiny niches now, right?
And you go deep, and I get going deep, and going deep is good.
Yeah,
I guess maybe I'm just a mile wide and a foot deep, Jeff.
But maybe I mean the other point to that though is that by nature the thing that you're watching, like that's not necessarily what they are, these people. Like by nature, the thing that you're the lens through which you're viewing them is a very narrow casting lens. So like their TikTok persona is going to be all that they are if all that they are is being into TikTok. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, is that true for the majority of people? Or are the majority of people still wandering around being like, I don't fucking know. Like those are just the ones who find success in this medium that is geared towards that as the metric of success.
Okay, that makes more sense. And it's warping my sense of the world and of the generation that follows us as being these specialists.
Potentially.
And they're all absolute specialists at the thing that they've chosen.
Potentially.
And then it gets me thinking, like, do I need to be a specialist? What would I want to specialize in?
Right.
I love everything.
I mean, I think if you want to make it in the new media culture, like my brother-in-law started a guitar channel on YouTube called Strange Device. Everyone go check out Strange Device on YouTube.
I know him as a drummer. Are you saying he's also a guitarist?
He is also a guitarist. He became obsessed. He's a man who gets I think you and he have a lot in common. He gets very, very obsessed with the thing that he's doing. He just like that's all he wants to do. Like he plays like guitar for 4 hours a day. Like just a year ago, he was like, "I'm going to start playing guitar 4 hours a day," and now that's what he does.
Wow!
And then he's like, "I'm going to start a YouTube channel about guitar." But like even that isn't enough. Like so he's trying to find his like, he's going through like the metrics and like figuring out like as he posts a new video like what the response is so that he can find like where is that tiny little sliver of YouTube that I can like dominate,
Yeah.
And that's how you have to make it on YouTube.
Yeah.
But like, is that all he is? No.
He's everything.
He's every woman. Can I say my
yes? Oh, bring it.
Parent? Just don't understand because this leads into it very well. Actually, and this is something we've talked about before too. In certain ways, we've talked about like the YouTube family. Or the YouTube families, right? Who have like these like their precocious children and everything, and they post these videos of their families.
Yeah. Terrible.
But I just realized, so my kids have started like they finally hit the age where they're full on into YouTube, and there are YouTubers, and similar to what you're saying, like they have their niche.
Potatoes?
Yeah, yes. They watch the YouTuber channel. It's just like shots of potatoes with googly eyes.
I would watch that.
Yeah, that sounds kind of good, actually. Yeah, I wonder if there's a YouTuber.
I mean, that could be what we do.
That kind of could be our niche.
We figured it out.
Yeah, we could do that. Oh, could we do that? Oh, could we make that? Like, we've always wanted to do a cartoon of dad jeans. Could we do like potatoes, like potato puppets?
Oh, yeah, and it's just photographs with animated eyes and mouths.
Yeah, sure. Sure, totally.
Why not?
That could be the Dad Jeans boys or the potato YouTubers. So they just watch these, like they have like celebrities, like and these people are like huge celebrities on YouTube, or like in this tiny niche. Like I don't even know. Like are there like Tom Hanks's of YouTube? I mean, I'm sure there's one or two. There's like PewDiePie or whatever, who everyone knows. But like, it seems like YouTube as a medium does not produce your Tom Hanks's, your Julia Roberts. It's like you're trying to find your YouTuber.
Yes.
Like
I see. Right.
The one that speaks to you.
Yep.
And they have like 500,000 followers or whatever, and that's like your little niche. But like, there's
the bass guy from Brazil.
Right, that guy. Yeah, that guy. Sure, exactly.
That guy's great.
Like, yeah, he's your YouTuber.
Slap the like button.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, it's great. It's wonderful. I like those videos. I like a lot of the stuff my kids are watching, but it's just like such a different lens on what like sort of entertainment is.
Yeah.
And I've like I still haven't succumbed to it. Like I don't watch YouTube.
No.
I don't know.
So, but when you go on the landing page, they haven't figured out like, here's that funny SNL skit you mentioned in conversation 3 days ago, and it somehow knows.
Sometimes, but I don't know. There's just something about like I don't know, watching things on my computer or on my phone. It doesn't please me. I like TV. I like to watch a TV.
Hold on to that. That's an important thing to hold on to before they suck you in completely.
I know they haven't sucked me in. They haven't. I mean, I do Twitter on my phone, but that's not watching something. That's like,
ladies and gentlemen, if you are not following Jeff on Twitter, you are missing out on the entire 21st century.
Thank you, Brendan. I had one the other day that I thought was quite good. Where I said the worst thing about working at home is that my work wife is my wife.
That's pretty great. That was like Borscht Belt level good.
I thought so too. I thought it was quite a good one. And then my wife's younger sister.
Wait, there's a third Cole girl?
There's a third Cole girl. She's a half sister.
Ah.
She chimed in and said, with some comment about like you're an idiot because Sarah's amazing or something like that, and I just felt so guilty and bad. I was like, we can't have nice things in this world, because like I strive to be pretty anonymous on Twitter. I'm not like me.
Yeah,
I'm my character, Mr. Pleasantries.
Oh, sure. Well, has this woman ever been to the Catskills? Because it was
a straight up yes,
straight out of the Catskills.
It was straight up. That could have Henny Youngman could have been delivering that line.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But so that's the danger. But that's what I like about Twitter, is that I don't feel like connected. Like Facebook, I would never dare post something like that, because
because everyone from your high school teachers,
thumbs downs,
are
left
like,
and right.
Jeffrey,
yeah, are you okay?
Are you okay?
I'm concerned about you.
The Facebook, are you okay?
Oh, you're bad. Okay, 2 more segments. My computer's dying. Let's do Advise Me Bro.
Oh, Advise Me Bro.
Advise me, bro. Cause I just gotta know. I got a motherfucking problem and you gotta show. Advise me, bro.
Okay, so this ties into what we were talking about earlier with me time and alone time. Is that I had a fight with Sarah this week, and she was like, "You need a more of a support network." Because she was like annoyed with me that I was like turning to her with my problems. And I just, this is something, first of all, do men have support networks?
I don't even know what a support network is.
What is a support network to a man in his 40s? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I have you and BLP.
Yep.
Matt Ransford.
Uh-huh.
And a couple of old work friends who I'm texting with.
Yep.
And I'm like, I got in this fucking fight with my wife about support networks, and they're like, what the fuck? Isn't that my support network?
Well, actually, now that I think about it, I mean, I think of a support network as like a chat window with Adobe, where you're like, Premiere keeps making After Effects crash.
Yeah.
But it's like for Friends, where it's like, instead of Premiere and After Effects, it's like Oscar keeps making Emily cry, chat window.
Yeah.
And then there's a voice on the other side that is like, hi, I'd be happy to help you with that today.
Yeah.
But it's you and Brian Perkins.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what a support network is, but like to Sarah, like it's not, because Sarah has friends who she calls on the phone.
What?
Yeah, exactly. And that somehow is a more real support network than my version of support network. And
support network. And by it being does it have to be a network, or can it just be like some people? Do they all have to know each other, or they can be individually unlinked?
I don't know.
Network suggests that they all also know each other, and you introduce a problem, and they all talk about it with one another and get back to you with a solution.
I mean, to me, right, exactly. Yeah, like your own IT squad or whatever.
Yeah.
But like my interpretation of what her support network is a bunch of like sort of friends that she's in this mutual relationship, or like what's the word? Donald Trump was like he was
symbiosis?
always like, no, he was always like quid pro quo, like you give me something, I'll get
mutually
something,
beneficial.
or whatever. I don't know, whatever. But it's like this relationship where like she's just complaining to them, and they say, "You go, girl." Like, is that a support network? Is that what I need?
And when they befriend each other, is there some sort of compact where they're like, look, I'm gonna go through some shit, and you're gonna go through some shit, and maybe sometimes we'll help each other while we go through some shit.
Sure.
We don't have to be funny. There don't have to be jokes. We can just very seriously say what our problem is, and then I will very seriously respond, or something like that, right? And that I picture that's how it happens. Whereas what I want is, when I'm going through some shit, is to laugh.
That's
And
there
so
you go. That's good.
So my compact would be, listen, I might go through some shit. Hopefully you'll never find out if I do.
Right.
And when we see each other, it'll just be like brain tickling the entire time.
Yeah.
And then we'll say goodbye, and we'll be a little happier than when we saw each other in the first place.
Yeah, I think that totally works. That to me is that's a fine support network.
That's the kind of support I need.
I feel like I've got that. Like that's what this is.
Yes.
You're my support network.
And you mine.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
But
I'm here for you, Jeff.
But there's some like level deeper, I feel like, of that, like I'm failing as a human because I don't have this stable of people who I can who just know that I'm going to call them up and complain to them. And like, who wants to be in that? Who wants a guy who's just complaining to him all the time?
I don't have time for friends that call me and complain.
No, I don't give a shit.
I could have complained all day into their ear.
I'm not interested. If you ever called me up and was like, Jeff, I'm going through some rough times, I'd be like, fuck off. Right. Don't bother me with that.
Are you going through some rough times? Well, okay, then call me when they stop so that we can continue to have a good time.
Exactly. Yeah. Are you drinking again? No? Then fuck off.
I can help you with that.
Yeah. I don't know. What's your I texted this to you earlier and you were like, we should start a segment called I Support You.
Oh, so right, where we attempt
yes.
to do this thing.
Yeah.
Right. Because Emily does all this wholesome shit. She goes on walks with friends she hasn't seen in a long time.
Yeah, that's what a woman's support network is. That.
It's amazing. And they're like, I'm gonna go meet my friend and we're gonna go on a hike because I haven't seen her in a long time and she's going through this thing with her husband, and so we're just gonna
men don't do that.
Unpack it. We're just going to double
click. What man does that?
Yeah.
What man has ever done that?
I tried it as an experiment, and
okay.
I must say it did kind of work. My friend Ben, my dear friend, one of my oldest friends, in New York. I was in New York over the summer, and I was like, who do I want to see? Ben Aarons. And so I was like, Ben, I'm going to be here.
I know that name. Is he a listener?
I don't know. He might not even know. He must. That's a great question. You probably met him. He's been out. Yeah, he's been out here a couple times. I'm sure you've met him, but it would have been years ago.
Got it.
Any case, he was like, it'd be great not to have to go indoors anywhere. And I was like, fuck, what are we going to do? Do you want to go on a walk?
Sure.
And he was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so we met at the High Line and walked the length of it. And it was great. We had a really good time.
Well, that's fine. That's fine, though. That's hanging out.
Yeah, we're hanging out.
Hanging out is a thing.
It's a thing.
I'm fine with that. But it's just like, I think there's this image. The support network to me suggests that like these people are just like there for your call. Like, I think it's mostly a phone thing. I think I just don't talk to enough people on the phone is the problem.
Is she saying you need to spend more time on the phone with your friends?
I think so.
Jeff,
I think that's part of it.
Do not call me.
No, I will never. I would never.
I don't want to have a phone call.
I couldn't voice that upon any man.
I don't have room in my life for another form of communication.
Yeah. What she's saying is that I need a work wife, which I can't fucking get because my wife is my work wife. My work wife would be my support network.
The phenomenon of the work wife is a fascinating thing. And I know it's gender neutral. Could be a man, could be a woman. But sure. I at one point had a work wife, and it is just awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
It's totally platonic. There's nothing untoward or weird.
No.
But it's just this lovely, you spend all day at this job, and it's a lovely companionship thing that strikes up.
I'm into it.
Yep.
I'm into it.
Mm-hmm.
What segment are we in? Do you have one for this segment?
Oh yeah, I think I do. Oh, I do. Do I ever? Okay. So speaking of the TikToks,
advise me, bro.
No, we're in. I can't remember where we're in now. Hold on a second. We're in something called support networks. Advise me, bro. Okay. So I came across this concept of performative incompetence.
Okay.
Where this guy's talking and he's like, listen, fellas, talking to the men, and he says,
yeah.
Fellas, yeah. All the ladies in the place. He says, there's this thing where men have, in a marriage, have performative incompetence, where they just will be so helpless around the house.
They'll get shit done for them.
That eventually it breaks their wife's spirit, and their wife just does everything. So, and he said, and it's like, and it's this thing, right? And he went on, and I'll get to that in a second. But he said that, and I was like, son of a bitch, I am a terrible cook. Terrible cook. The cauliflower I made, where I basted it with mustard and oil, it was probably my fault that it was so terrible. It was awful.
Right.
And it was my fault, but I don't know why. I followed the recipe to the letter, but it still didn't work. But I'm sure there's this extra thing that everyone knows except for me, where you're supposed to put ice cubes, like when you're making bread in the fucking whatever.
Sure.
So anyway, I'm awful at cooking, and I am making no progress at all whatsoever. And we've been married for 10 years.
Okay.
And Oscar has to eat my food randomly, goes away, and it's just I feel so bad for the kid. And
Are you trying too hard? Are you trying to do hard things like?
no, you would think, right? No,
Yeah.
I'm that bad. at
Okay.
it. I'm just. I mean,
Like
maybe
a chicken breast you couldn't handle.
I mean, I guess I could. We don't eat meat. The problem is we're in this advanced level where there's not a lot of meat that comes through this house.
Right.
So it's not like meat, potatoes, and
So
a
you got to find
vegetable.
something interesting to make out of like terrible ingredients that no one wants to eat.
Yeah.
That's your problem,
exactly.
buddy.
Well, there's okra and ketchup in the fridge.
Yeah, no.
And so it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll
Don't
slice
blame
the
yourself
okra.
for being shitty at okra and ketchup. No one should be good at that. Okay.
And so Emily is just like, oh fuck. I'm also much more slobby than she is. I don't mind a slovenly house. I don't mind piles of stuff everywhere. I don't even see it.
Okay.
It's like I'm too busy being preoccupied.
Sure.
And so she is like, I just break her spirit over and over again, right? So that's part A of this. Part B is I was watching Mayor of Easttown. Have you
Yeah.
watched that?
I have not yet.
Fucking A, it's so good. But there's this part, this is not plot driven at all, but this part, her mother confesses to her, they're having like a heart to heart, and she says, your father just wasn't who I thought he was when I married him, and I realized I couldn't change him, and I guess I kind of took that out on you.
Okay.
Her mother says to her.
Sure.
So then I was like, oh my God, am I not who Emily thinks she married?
Right.
And she realizes she can't change me.
Oh shit.
And now she's going to take it all out on Oscar. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then poor Oscar has to like deal with the fact that I can't cook and I can't keep a clean house or keep things organized because of this performative incompetence where I'm just incompetent, but I'm obviously choosing to be incompetent. I could take a fucking cooking class. I could take an interest in cooking and learn.
Sure.
Or I could realize that that conveying love to someone is like them walking into a neater house than the one they left or whatever.
Right.
But instead I choose not these things.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, fuck, I think now Oscar could be, I'm not saying she takes a bunch of shit on an Oscar or anything, but that seems to be like the human equation.
Right.
Like I've done this before. And then this guy talking about it is like, and by the way, this is also a race thing because you white people are just completely mediocre and are allowed to be mediocre and are rewarded for your mediocrity. And then I was like, motherfucker, that's also true.
You're the worst
like,
of all worlds.
Oh my God. Like I just had this whole shame spiral.
Wow.
Thinking about all this, and it's all tied together.
Yeah.
So advise me, bro. What do I do with that shit sandwich?
Well, first of all, you're like, don't pat yourself on the back for having shame about this. That's also a white thing to do.
That's all I had.
Yeah, that's another one.
I was dutifully going to the place of feeling terrible.
Right. Yeah, I'm making a difference because I feel bad about it.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Again, no, I need to become excellent.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, isn't it just a trade-off? Like, you take care of Oscar a lot. Like,
I do.
Doesn't it just like she's good at some things and you're good at other things? Like, are there things that you like? Does she do more work around the house? Do you think
when she's home? But when she's gone, I do all of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like but she's also she's sort of a busybody. She's always needs to be moving and sweeping and just doing and improving.
Yeah, you don't need to make you don't need to like support that. That's her thing.
She's a relentless improver, and so in my life I've been like, it'd be nice if I were one, but I need to sit down once in a while.
But you've like the things that you do, like the way you structure your day, your 100 days of Brendan or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's like it's intimidating to me. I have no interest in doing any of that. You work your ass off
on myself,
on yourself, but it's like it's also like it's also for a greater purpose, right? Like you're not just being like, I'm gonna get great and then I'm gonna leave my family.
No, that's true. I feel like if I have shoulder muscles, I'll be easier on the eye for Emily.
There you go. See? Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. I mean, I think like not everyone has to be a good cook. I think it depends on what your like your level. Like what can you do that you're not doing right now that you probably could do that you're just not doing because it's easy to not do it as a man.
Right.
Those are the things you need to change. Like I don't fold the laundry enough. I recognize that I've just like given that duty over to Sarah because Sarah folds the laundry a lot. She just like gets to the machine, she takes the laundry out and she folds it. And I'll like let it sit there for a week and I'm just like, oh God, I gotta fucking fold that laundry. And like, but like I could fold the laundry and I do when I have to. And like, why don't I just start doing it more? Like it's pretty easy.
Do you cook?
I cook. I'm a really good cook.
Are you really?
Good fucking cook.
Is this something I've never known about you? You're a really good cook?
I'm a great cook.
Really?
If you have my bagels?
Yeah, I have it. Your bagels are very good.
Yeah, I do a lot of cooking.
Wow.
I mean, I think I step back. I can follow a recipe. I'm not a good cook. Like I can't like if you gave me like a bunch of ingredients, it's like whip me up something delicious. I'd be like, oh, I don't fucking know. Like what do you? But like,
but if you go and find a recipe, like you have enough interest. You go and find a recipe.
Yes, I enjoy the process of cooking. I enjoy like making a nice meal.
Do you guys have meat for every meal?
Not for every meal, no, but often. I mean, Eli's a vegetarian.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah,
you're raising such interesting kids, Jeff.
Interesting or a pain in the ass?
Are these different?
I never know. He just decided a month ago. He's like, I'm not going to eat meat anymore. Probably like 2 months at this point, and he hasn't had a drop of meat since.
God bless him. That's great.
Yeah, but the problem is, like with kids and vegetarians, they're not like he's not like eating like a fucking delicious like salad.
Oh, kale and couscous.
Yeah, he's just like I just want potato chips for dinner. You know?
Oh yeah.
I'm so lazy.
Oh, so actually, this is brilliant.
Yeah, potato. Yeah,
because he gets to eat more salty potatoes.
Yes, but like Hazel has a really like they won't eat anything. I forgot to mention that my Hazel is non-binary. We'll talk about that at a later episode.
That's totally cool.
We refer to them as they them now.
I rest my case.
Yeah, well, fair. I mean, they're just them. They both of them and the singular them are just them. They are themselves. Which I appreciate, but
that's a house that cultivated selfness.
I guess, yeah, I guess. I hope it's not bad for them to be selves.
No, au contraire.
Yeah, but what if they're like become these YouTubers who like find their little niche and they're just like, this is all I'm going to be now.
This is the future that we can't ever understand and won't be a part of.
Maybe it's good. Can we move on to our final segment?
Yes,
Did I give you enough advice on that?
Oh, certainly.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and I do fold the laundry because I worked at Banana Republic for 3 weeks once, and I learned how to fold the living shit out of a fucking like garment.
Oh, see, that's nice. That's
so
good.
I do fold the laundry.
Okay, well then you're doing better than me.
But you cook.
Yeah, that's true. Not as much as Sarah. It depends. When I was doing the Whole30 diet, I was cooking every single night, and Sarah loved it because I was just like on it.
You're looking very good, Jeffrey. You're looking good enough to eat.
I need to go backwards. I need to keep going backwards. Let's move on to fatherly advice.
Fatherly advice.
Help me, Daddy. Fatherly advice. Help me, Daddy. Fatherly advice.
My advice, Brendan.
Bring it.
Lower your expectations.
Done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just everyone. Like as a 46-year-old man, I just look out there. I see people expecting things. Like all around me, people have expectations about something's going to happen. At this point in our lives, Brendan, like fine is superb.
Yes.
If something's fine, I'm exalted. I'm like joyous.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank God that thing was fine.
Yeah.
I don't expect anything better than fine.
And not a fucking disaster.
Yes. And I don't even expect fine. Like if something's fine, then that's like I've surpassed my expectations.
Yes.
If I expect it to be like not like life threatening.
I was reading Blood Meridian, and there's a part where the guy,
so good.
So yeah, and he's in some like cabin with some old coot.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "You got any food?" And he's the main character, and the old guy is like, I have a dead varmint that happened to die in the pot or something like that. We could light a fire. And he lights a fire and they just eat varmint.
Varmint. Yes. That's what you should expect in life is varmint.
Yes, exactly.
That's your expectation.
If you're better than varmint, that's a hell of a Tuesday.
That's a hell of a Tuesday.
Varmint, what died in the pot.
Yes. I think my thing is done, but better than varmint, I think, is a good name for this episode. Well, let me put that in there.
That is pretty good. That's great. Yeah, I think you're right. Lower your okay, and this brings up something that I've been thinking about, Jeff, which is if everything is special, nothing is special. And what's become clear is there is no fame anymore. There are no Tom Hankses anymore.
No.
Because there are too many niches and there are too many ways for too many people to discover too many niches.
Right.
So there are micro Tom Hankses.
Yeah, you got
micro Hankses.
Your Poe Dameron over here.
Everywhere. Everywhere there are micro Tom Hankses.
Yeah.
And therefore, everyone is Tom Hanks. Therefore, ergo, nothing. There is no to be special because everyone is special now, and everything is special.
It's the true 15 minutes of fame.
The 15, but like, he was right.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yes.
And so therefore, we in our generation, because we saw all this be born, you know, president got a blowjob and suddenly the internet. I don't know. I'm sure there's a correlation.
They're connected. Yeah. And it's Al Gore is the linchpin there.
Oh, that's what he meant.
Yes.
And so 1-0-1-0-1-0-1. And so therefore we don't have to achieve specialness.
Cultivate non-specialness.
We don't need to achieve anything anymore because that has been removed from the equation. We grew up with the notion that we need to achieve, strive, be a gold medalist or whatever.
Yeah.
But now the Olympics happened, nobody noticed. You know.
Sure.
Be the best, whatever. There is no the best. There are so many hundreds of thousands of also goods.
Yes.
And it's not really about that anymore.
Yes, fade back, brothers.
Fade back.
Fade back, middle-aged brothers.
My middle-aged brothers, we were sold a bill of goods.
We were.
We spent all the time climbing up a ladder, and lo and behold, is leaning against the wrong building.
Yes, and lo and behold, if we had been born 20 years later, like all we'd have to do is be that guy who like shucks clams on TikTok, and we'd be rolling in it.
Yeah,
but we can't do it anymore.
Shucker.
We're past it. No,
and we're all generalists who are like, I like all kinds of music.
Yeah.
I like sports. I like movies.
Right.
What are you reading?
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, why do you like so many things, you fucking freak?
Yeah. No, they're like popular culture. Isn't that redundant?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So therefore, there is no fame. There is no success.
Yeah.
There is no anything anymore. No one's heard of everyone because everyone has heard of everyone.
Everyone's heard of everyone. Yeah. You can't just keep chasing that rabbit down the rabbit hole. You can't keep going for those like more and more obscure Japanese Portishead B-sides. It's just like it's infinite now. It's
rabbits
now.
all the way
you
down
can't
the
be
hole.
A completist. Yeah, exactly. So why even bother? Opt out.
Lean
dads.
Out.
Lean out. Oh, that's good. That's going to have to be a Dad Gene t-shirt. Lean out. Yes.
That is pretty good.
Wow. I don't think we can top that. I think we've come to the end of our discussion.
But I have to do my fatherly advice.
Oh, you have fatherly advice. Oh, sorry. Okay.
This is the big one.
Yes.
This is the big one that I've been waiting for my entire life.
The big banana.
This is the big banana.
Okay.
So, I'm a neurotic guy.
Yeah.
Left to my own devices,
Some say.
My brain will eventually be like, you should probably start to worry that Oscar has fallen and hit his head.
I would be worrying that right now.
That phone call is...
Yeah. I saw him coming out of that house. I was like, something's going on inside that house.
That phone call is coming from the school any minute. Just stare at your phone. Here comes the phone call.
Sure.
Or something like that. Or
OCD. That's your OCD.
Yeah. Or
we
like,
talked about that.
You should probably start to get upset at Emily right now because she's been gone for so long.
Right.
You should probably start to feel a little crabby about how much work you're having to do around the house and like what a mess it is.
This is your brain telling you this?
This is my brain, right? Yeah. So, but this week I gave it a name.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't me. The voice, voice, a name. Claudia is her name. And suddenly, so I'm walking into the house and I'm like, oh, Claudia wants me to be a little annoyed right now at Oscar or at Emily for blah blah, or like, you know what I mean, or like something like that, or Claudia wants me to wonder about Jeff's weird tone in that text message. That's a total example. That has never happened.
Sure,
but
it's happened, but it's fine. And I meant it. You should have been worried.
And so naming her Claudia,
Yes.
it goes away instantly.
Huh.
Instantly. I don't perseverate anymore. It's like you can't know what a prison I have been in for so many of my adult years.
Yeah.
That those chains were broken this week because I gave a name
This is the
and an
key?
identity to the me that worries.
Is this a did you figure this out on your own, or is this a therapy? Do you have a therapist
Oh,
who helped
I
you?
saw a tweet or some shit.
Oh, okay. And you said that's it. That's
Give
the
it a name.
answer.
And I was like, I'm game for anything, because it'd be
Right.
nice to not feel all this anxiety all the time.
What you're saying is that you developed split personality disorder this week, and it's been quite lovely.
Claudia did. I didn't.
Claudia developed me.
Exactly.
And I'm going to come in next week, and you're going to be wearing a dress, and Claudia will have taken over.
I know, that's definitely true. And then she'll start to give you advice about what you should be worried about.
Yeah, or maybe I'll develop my own Claudia, and then like it could just be Dad Jeans with Claudia and Claudia. And our
That would be
Claudias could talk
Claudia
to each
v.
other.
Claudia. That would be pretty amazing.
Well, I love that. So how has that? You're just saying the meta recognition of what you're going through is all you need to stop it?
Yeah, where I'm like, if I disembody it and personify it, I'm like, oh, Claudia wants that, but I'm just chopping this celery.
Okay.
And then I'm back in the present.
Okay.
I am such a stranger to the present, Jeff. I spend maybe 6-7 cumulative seconds in the present every day.
It's hard to.
And so, but then I'm like, I'm just standing here in this room chopping the celery.
Huh.
I'm going to chop it on a bias now.
But is that what's that doing to your feelings? Are there not feelings inside there that are getting that Claudia's destroying?
No. Oh, no. Oh, contrary. No. Suddenly I feel placid, and I feel like, I feel totally fine. Oh, it's my son.
That's your son, Oscar. He's
Come on
gonna
in.
make an appearance. Maybe he can say goodnight for us.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Oscar, we're just wrapping things up. Come on in.
Brendan, I hope I don't develop a crush on Claudia. This might get a little awkward.
She's kind of hot.
Yeah, I can tell.
That's it. Oscar, this just in from Oscar.
Yes.
When are you going to be done?
Well, if you come over to this microphone and say goodnight, everybody, then we'll be done after. We'll be
Right.
done after that.
Now, after you say into this microphone, good night, everybody. I burped instead. That's my boy.
Wait, no, I can do a better burp.
Okay, say good night.
Okay.
No, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it.
Burping. Say good night. This is not going to work out.
This is not going to work out. They never do what
They
we
never.
want
It's like the
them to.
frog
I thought it was going to
that
work.
won't sing. Sad.
But we still appreciate you, Oscar.
We do appreciate you, Oscar. Okay.
Okay, that was the appropriate answer. All right, everybody. Well, on that, we shall say goodnight.
Good night.